with a quick episode of the road trip. And for tonight, we're gonna have dinner at Out of Nowhere. And when we say out of nowhere, it's actually not very hard to spot. It's right here at Abriza Mall at the second floor. So let's go. Let's check out what they have on offer right here on the road trip. All right, welcome to another episode of the road trip. It's another day and another food trip. And this time we are at Out of Nowhere here at Abriza Mall. And for starters, you gotta start with soup, right? And it's actually one of my favorite types of soup, the seafood chowder. It's a soup and it's like a meal in one because it's so rich and hearty. And this one is seafood, of course. So if I'm not mistaken, it has chunks of shrimp and chunks of tuna as well. So that looks amazing. It's actually my son's favorite and probably one of my favorite soups. And it's perfect with slices of a baguette, if I'm not mistaken, or garlic bread. You gotta have something a bit more solid so you can enjoy it almost like a meal. Let's do a quick taste, minus the garlic bread. Bawal mapaso. Oh my God. And I'm not kidding here. You taste the sea. And I don't mean like the polluted sea, right? I mean like the essence of the sea. And I love it because it has a strong shrimp flavor. Oh my God. You know what? I've had other seafood and clam chowder before. I'd have to say this one hits all the right spots in terms of the seafood taste, the flavor. Look at that. Look how chunky that is. Look how much shrimp and tuna and I'm not sure what else is in here, but I'm telling you, it's the sea in a spoon, all right? And now I'm gonna try it with the garlic bread. Complements it perfectly, all right? So if you want to start your meal, you're getting hungry, so you don't want to dive into the main course yet, the seafood chowder is the perfect starter here at Out of Nowhere. Thumbs up. For our second dish here at Out of Nowhere, we have one of the more popular beer match or alcoholic drink matches when it comes to those who want to have something that they can enjoy as a pika-pika. You know, not necessarily part of a meal, but something to enjoy with a glass of wine or a mug of beer, perhaps. And yeah, I mean, I'm no stranger to gambas, but of course, there are different ways and different varieties of preparing gambas. This is probably more accurate to its Spanish origins, where it's in a small little hot plate, and I'm not sure if this is olive oil, but I'm assuming it is. And first thing I noticed when they served the gambas here, shrimp gambas here at Out of Nowhere, is how plump the shrimps are, all right? It's plump, it looks fresh, it looks incredibly juicy. And at first I thought these were probably mushrooms. I'm not sure if this is mushroom or chorizo or some type of sausage or longanisa, but we'll find out. And of course, to complement that, you have a slice of lemon that I would assume you squeeze over the gambas, just maybe to counteract the, you know, the oil and whatever else that comes with it, and balances things out. And of course, you have your garlic bread as well. I'm not sure if this is garlic bread or just slices of a baguette, but nonetheless, I think the main purpose of this is, you know, when you're finishing up your dish of gambas, you can sort of wipe the bottom of the dish and enjoy the rest of that amazing gamba sauce, which is basically a combination of spices and herbs and, you know, the oil and the natural flavor of the sausage, assuming it's a sausage, and the shrimp. So I'm gonna take my first bite. I mean, I gotta get the big piece, right? Along with the Spanish chorizo. And the oil, it's actually really good. And I can imagine most Filipinos would probably want to enjoy this with rice. Though, like I said, it came with slices of a baguette. Any toasted bread will do. Help yourself. Oh my God. Perfectly seasoned. I can taste the olives, actually. So I'm assuming maybe these are olives, right? I don't really think much about what's in the dish. It's more about how it comes together. And this one comes together perfectly. So definitely highly recommended. Whether you're enjoying it with a glass of wine or a mug of beer or just plain old water or your favorite drink or whatnot. Part of a meal or just pika with friends, I highly recommend shrimp gambas right here at Out of Nowhere. Really enjoy this. We're at the main dish now, and I would assume this is one of the best sellers for Out of Nowhere. This is actually a combination of two of their classics. This is the Asian grilled skewer, if I'm not mistaken, and this is the tandoori, and they're both chicken. Of course, they each have their own amazing flavor and origin. The Asian grill, I would assume, is probably closer to that of the satay, which is commonly found in the streets of Indonesia, Malaysia, and it has that sweet barbecue-y sauce all over it, which is obviously appealing to the Asian taste buds. Hence, instead of just calling it a satay or just referring to it as, you know, Malaysian, Filipino, or Thai or whatever, they just universally, named it the Asian grilled skewer. And I couldn't agree more, all right? So if you look at it at first glance, there's not much of a difference except for, you know, the brighter reddish orangey color on this one, right? Now this one is the tandoori, which is, if I'm not mistaken, obviously originating from the term tandoori. It's a specific way of cooking and preparing mostly chicken. And it comes with two sauces. Of course, one, I'm assuming this is for the tandoori, which is, looks like some sort of a sour cream, whatever type. What is it? Oh, yogurt. Yeah, that's it. So it's tandoori, right? All right. Thank you to Ian. This guy, you know, he's behind the camera, but he's actually the one who should be here when it comes to talking about food. I mean, I can eat the food, but I can't tell you much about it. All right. And this one, of course, is for the Asian grill skewer, which, I mean, just one look at it, you know it's screaming spicy. I think they're sort of, I guess, at its base, prepared the same way. So they're both tender and the best parts of the chicken as well. Now, I saw this mountain of rice, and the first thing that came to mind was, Tukso, layuan mo ako. Because I'm really trying to cut down on carbs, but you have a dish like this, you can't say no to rice, man. Of course, but taste it naked first, minus the sauce or the dip. Oh my God. That's become my trademark reaction now. Oh my God. You know, is that blasphemy? Do I keep doing that? I'm not sure. I hope not. Because I mean, I am referring to it in a positive way. It's the only words I can utter whenever I eat something that's truly heavenly. All right? And this is, of course, like I said, more appealing to the Asian taste buds, right? It's sweet. I don't really taste the peanutty flavor that much. I'm not even sure if it's peanuts. It could be garlic, all right? It could actually be pieces of garlic. So yeah, it looks like roasted garlic. So that's probably why. And I love garlic. So obviously, you know, I'm not a vampire, right? Okay. That's the Asian grill. It's sweet. It's barbecue-y. It's actually the perfect skewer to order if you have kids or you have somebody who's, you know, a little picky with their food, because this one will appeal universally to pretty much anybody's taste buds, all right? It's super tender, it's super good, and generous serving. So I'm gonna dip this in the, yeah, I love that. I mean, I am a fan of spicy sauces. This one a little bit kind of reminds me of that popular Indian, oh my God, what is it called? But I love it. the popular, not Indian, but Indonesian spicy sauce type dip. Sambal. I knew it. That's why I have this guy behind the camera. He is my conscienza, all right? He is the voice of reason when I have nothing left to say because I'm utterly speechless. Actually, to be honest with you guys, if my mom didn't give me feedback on Messenger about how I neglect to talk more about the food instead of just focusing on myself, this wouldn't happen. But I'm open to creative criticism, right? It's a work in progress. So now the highlight's obviously the food, right? So mamatay kayo sa inggit. Alright, I'm gonna enjoy the meal and talk about it. And yeah, I mean, if it's gonna be a sort of like a food review type thing, then the highlight's definitely the food. And this is amazing. You know, here's the thing. Here's what I can say about the Asian grill, all right? It goes from general patronage to rated R and like one dip. I mean, it doesn't spice it up that much, but the flavor profile changes drastically. You get the sweet and innocent Asian grill taste and flavor without the sauce. Then you dip it in this thing, all of a sudden it's like, you feel like you're walking in the streets of Indonesia, in Jakarta, or crossing the streets of Pattaya. I don't know, just it has that power to transport you to another place, but within Asia, of course. Maybe Southeast Asia, to be specific. All right, so before I gotta enjoy this with a little bit of rice. I just wanna give it the rice test, right? Yummy. All right, so let's move on. Let's try the other skewer. So again, this is a combo skewer that I have, the Asian grill, and now we're on the tandoori. Shout out to Dr. Drew Patel, who is now in India. He was a good friend of mine here in Davao when he was in medical school. So Dr. Drew, if you're watching, does this look authentic to you? Has it passed the Indian tandoori test? You know, with the eye test? I don't know, but I'm gonna enjoy it minus the yogurt. All right. This is amazing. This is the best Indian tandoori I ever had. It does have that power as well to transport you to the busy streets of New Delhi. And for some reason, when I take a bite, it makes me want to move my neck like this. You know? It's just how it is, you know? It's very good. This is the best chicken tandoori I've ever had. And shout out again to my friend, Dr. Drew Patel. I'm not really in a position to talk about the dish of another country if I'm not local. I can only judge it based on my limited Pinoy palate, right? But nonetheless, it's amazing. And I'm gonna take another piece. Do I dip this in the yogurt or do I eat the yogurt separately? How does this work? Okay, so you can dip it in the yogurt. According to my food expert slash videographer, Ian. Oh my God, it's equally as good. I just don't have the, what's the rice biryani, is it? To complement it, but it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, a lot of people mistake me for being Indian or, you know, anyway, so maybe it's in my blood. That's why I like it so much. Now, if I were to choose between the two, oh my God, I would have to say that tandoori has more personality. So if you're more adventurous, and you want to taste something that you don't consume every day and hit your taste buds in a different way, I would say it's a tandoori. Now, if you want to play it safe, it's something you can share with your kids or just make you feel at home because of its signature sweet Asian sauce, then it's the Asian grill skewer. Either way, you can't go wrong. Both are super tender. Both are super good. Generous servings of the skewer. I mean, just ordering one skewer will fill you up. But since you're dealing with Rod Rodriguez, I'm gonna need two, all right? So I'm gonna continue my meal. Again, here at Out of Nowhere, second floor, Abriza Mall. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the meal and hopefully you guys can appreciate the experience. Don't forget to like and to share right here on the Rod Trip. And we'll be back with more food videos. Let me eat first. Bye.